This week, the biggest stars in football continue to shine. Welcome to the Sports Playbook. I am Daniel, and we are Australia's weekly sports news podcast covering men's and women's sport. So here's the week in sport and everything coming up this weekend. In football, the biggest stars continue to shine at the FIFA World Cup. Cristiano Ronaldo, at 41 years of age, is absolutely turning it on for Portugal. He scored 2 goals in Portugal's 5-0 defeat over Uzbekistan. And in the other games, Lionel Messi broke the World Cup record. He scored twice for Argentina against Austria. And Messi now has the record for the most career goals at a World Cup with 18 to his name. Norway, they beat Senegal 3-2 through some Erling Haaland brilliance. Haaland scored twice for Norway, and now they advance to the round of 32. And finally, France beat Iraq 3-0, and that was through some Kylian Mbappe masterclass. Mbappe scored twice for France in their win. Also in football, the Central Coast Mariners now have a new owner. It comes through the Total Soccer Growth Holdings Group, which is the majority stakeholder in the English Premier League football club Queen's Park Rangers. But the interesting and concerning news comes as the group that has bought the Mariners has only bought the men's football team and the academy football team, which leaves the women's football team in limbo, with the buyer not choosing to purchase the women's team from the Central Coast Mariners. This is one story that will continue to develop over the coming days. In tennis, Serena Williams is back at Wimbledon, not just in the doubles, but this time in the singles. Williams has picked up a wildcard after a 4-year absence at the Wimbledon tournament. It comes as Serena has won 7 singles titles at the All England Club. That is an impressive record. With Wimbledon starting on June 29th, Serena Williams will be the storyline to follow going into the All England Club tournament. And in NRL, Latrell Mitchell is out of Game 3. For the New South Wales Blues, and in particular the South Sydney Rabbitohs, their star Latrell Mitchell has been ruled out indefinitely. For Latrell, he was coming back from a back injury, and he trained for the South Sydney on Tuesday of this week. But it wasn't his back that was aggravated. For Latrell, he actually aggravated a calf injury, which is unfortunate for all parties. But this means for the New South Wales Blues, he'll be ruled out of the decider. So the Blues will have to decide, do they keep Kotoni Staggs in his current position, or do they look from outside of the team? Some names include Stephen Crichton, Tom Trbojevic, Bradman Best, and even Matt Burton. But this will all be decided on Monday next week when the New South Wales Blues team has been selected. With that, we head into our weekend preview. Here are the big games to look forward to this weekend. In netball, it's the preliminary final. The Melbourne Vixens will take on the West Coast Fever. This is on Saturday, the 27th of June at 7:30pm. This is the 2025 Grand Final rematch, but it's just one game earlier. For the Vixens, they have lost their last 4 games in a row, and they have to win this or their season is finished. For the West Coast Fever, they just beat a dangerous Melbourne Mavericks last week, and they have the momentum. But they have to travel to Melbourne and play the Vixens at home. This will be an amazing game to watch, and the winner will go to the grand final to take on the Adelaide Thunderbirds. In AFL, the Brisbane Lions take on the Sydney Swans. This game is on Thursday, the 25th of June at 7:30pm. The Lions are now in the wildcard position on the AFL ladder. They currently sit 8th, and they are just trying to scrape through to that top 6, while the Sydney Swans are continuing their fine run of form. They currently sit second on the ladder as they head to Brisbane to knock off the Lions. And finally, Formula One is back. Formula One will return to Austria at the Red Bull Ring for the Austrian Grand Prix. This will be a fascinating race, as the last one, Ferrari brought a lot of upgrades to Barcelona, and we saw the first Ferrari win for Lewis Hamilton. McLaren are up there, but they are probably not in contention for the win. Mercedes, you cannot doubt this team with their speed. Kimi Antonelli and George Russell look strong for this team. So could we see potentially a straight fight between Ferrari and Mercedes for the championship lead? Antonelli leads by 41 points, followed by Lewis Hamilton in second position. One to watch for Formula One fans. That is your sports week sorted. Enjoy the weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with the full wrap. So until then, follow the Sports Playbook. We are your go-to for fast sport news without the noise, and you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. See you on the next episode.